Are you a student planning to relocate to Cape Town, South Africa? Maybe you are coming from other countries and you want to relocate to Cape Town. Or maybe you are somewhere in South Africa, in Johannesburg, Durban, or anywhere else in South Africa, but you want to relocate to Cape Town as a student. Maybe you are just a student who want to come for an exchange program and you are thinking about how much it will cost you to live in Cape Town. Or if you are a young professional and you have got a job to Cape Town, still thinking about how much it will cost you to live in the mother city. If that is you and you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is LeBlanc Kalalizi and I am a master's student at the University of Cape Town, also called UCT. So in this video, I am going to break down about the cost that you'll experience while living in Cape Town, from rent to groceries to transportations to going out, and the monthly budget that you can expect to spend in Cape Town as a student or a young professional. So let's start with the rent. So how is the accommodation prices in Cape Town? There is 3 types of accommodation that you'll come to know once you come to Cape Town. First, there is student accommodations. In student accommodations, you can get a private room, you can get a shared room, and you can also get private rooms, shared rooms, and studio apartment, and those differs in prices. So let me just give you information according to my experience. So I came to Cape Town in February 2025 when I got accepted to pursue my master's degree at the University of Cape Town, and that is the reason why I relocated to Cape Town. So when I came, it was really difficult for me to get an apartment. Thank God I got this shared apartment on the website of the university itself. So my first 5 months I was in a shared room. I will discuss about the experience later, but you can start from getting a shared room if you don't have enough funds to get a private accommodation. You have different choices. If you are coming for an exchange program, you can either take a shared room or you can get a private room in a shared apartment. The prices differs. So from a shared room, you can actually expect to pay about 4,000 to 5,000 in a shared room. So it's going to be a room with your single bed or 3/4 bed, and then you pay 4,000, and that what include in that 4,000, your 4,000 include a bed, it include a wardrobe where you can place your clothes, and a study table, right? So you will just come with your suitcase and you will find your room is there. So I advise you also you come with your bed sheet so that you can make your own bed according to your own style. So you can also get a private room in a shared apartment, and that can cost you from 5,500 to 8,000. So it depends in the area where you are living and also the apartment that you are living in. So when I came, I was paying 4,000 for a shared room, and now I am in a private room, like in a shared apartment, of course. And you can get a private studio. Private studio differs depend on the area also that you are living, and also it depends whether it's closer to campus or is further away in other suburbs. So with a private studio or a studio apartment, you can expect to pay as well either from 8,000 rand to 11,000 rand. So between 8,000 and 11,000 rand. So there is different areas that are closer to campus. It depends on which universities that you are going to or where you are going to work. If you are going to the University of Cape Town, there is closer to campus areas that are closer to campus are Rondebosch Observatory, Claremont, Rosebank, Salt River. So you also have residencies in these areas. So you can either get an accommodation in a university residence itself, or you can get private accommodations that are registered on the university website, or you can also look on Property 24 or student living websites, so you can get accommodation from there. So that is the cost that you can expect, from 4,000 to 4,005 7,000 in a shared apartment, in a shared room, 5.5 to 7,000 in a private room, and from 8,000 to 11,000 in a studio apartment. So it can go more or less than that, but that is the average cost that you can expect for a student accommodation or a young professional accommodation in Cape Town. So let's talk about groceries. So there is different shops that you come to know about when you come to Cape Town. So if you are coming from abroad or other countries that is not South Africa, so in South Africa we have Pick and Pay, we have Checkers, we have Spar, we have ShopRite. So we have different shopping centers and shopping malls that you come to know when it comes to buy groceries. So specifically, Cape Town groceries are so expensive compared to other parts of South Africa like Johannesburg and Durban. So if you are coming from Durban to Cape Town, you'll find that the prices are a bit expensive compared to the Durban prices, even though it's the same store that you are aware of and you always shop in. So myself, when I came in my first year of living in Cape Town, I used to shop in Checkers because Checkers is a store that my mom used to shop in when I was still in Durban, and also sometimes I used to go to Spar. So now, as I am familiar with the city itself, I'm always going to Spar, which is next to my apartment, and then I go to another fruit and veg store that is also closer to my apartment in the same area that I am living. So that is groceries. So how much do I spend on groceries? Myself, I spend about 1,500 rent. So I'm talking in rent. That is my grocery budget for a month. But if you are in a tight budget, you can still budget to 1,000. Depend on whether you like cooking or whether you like eating out. So myself, I like cooking, so I eat home cooked meal, and I still spend 1,500 as one person. So if you don't like eating too much and you want to squeeze your budget, you can still survive on 1,000 rand for a monthly grocery budget. And if you like going out, you like eating out, you can go above 1,500. So just give yourself the average between 1,200 to 2,000 rand for a grocery monthly budget for grocery, right? So how is transportation in Cape Town? Transportation, there is really quite numbers of transportation, from public taxis to buses to trains, and also Uber and Bolt. And if you are a student, you will come to know about the UCT shuttle that you can use for free. So if you make sure, if you are coming to Cape Town for the first time, especially as a student, whether you are studying at the University of Cape Town or CPUT, there is buses for students, and that you will come to use what we call JAMI, student JAMI or UCT shuttle. I will just put a clip of it on the screen and you come to know about it. what you need to use those student shuttle if you are going to campus, you need your student card. So make sure you have your student card every time that you are going to campus, because you need it to take a journey to campus, journey slash shuttle, right? So that you can use it to go to different residences if you have friends in different residences. And also, it's not expensive to take a taxi. A taxi, depends from the area where you are, is about 15 rand from one area to another. If you are in the surroundings that are next to town or that are next to the university itself, so it's not going to be that expensive. Train stations is more accommodating, and a lot of people take trains, especially if you are living in a like in an area that is far from campus. So you might get familiar with trains. But myself, I've been here for almost 1 year and 6 months, so I haven't taken a train, and I can't explain the reason why. Maybe because I'm so used to public taxis and I feel they are more accommodating for me, specifically because when I go to campus, there is no route that it like the campus and where I stay is a bit closer, so it's not really a place where I have to take a train to go to campus. And also, if I have to go to town, I found taxis more accommodating, because I just have to walk about 3 minutes to get to the main road where I take a taxi or a bus to town, right? So you have multiple choices of transportations, from buses to public taxis to trains to Ubers and Bolt, that you can afford and be able to take those. So Wi-Fi and data cost. So specifically, I have my private Wi-Fi, but it's actually not needed. Why? Because every accommodation, most of the accommodations that you'll be in, especially student accommodations, whether it's student residencies by campus, by the university itself, or just the student accommodations in the areas that is stated student accommodation or young professional accommodation, you will probably 100% find a Wi-Fi in that apartment. Like here, we have a Wi-Fi in our apartment, but I still prefer to have my own mobile Wi-Fi, so that if I go outside, I do not have to buy data. And the Wi-Fi myself, it costs me about 250 rand per month, but the Wi-Fi is free, so you can use that. So when you are on campus or at work, you will be connected, of course, and you do not have to buy data. You might just buy airtime or just private megabyte data that can allow you to be connected in times where you are not at home or when you are not at campus. Right. Eating out, there is a lot of varieties of restaurants in Cape Town. Like, South Africa itself is a food country, so people like to eat here. There is a lot of restaurants, there is a lot of cafes, there's options from burgers to African food to fish, like a lot of fish in Cape Town, because we have oceans in Cape Town, so there is a lot of fish in Cape Town. So the food is really affordable. It's not that expensive. But if you are someone who want to budget, so you can just cook your food, learn how to cook, and come and cook your own meal, and you can just go and spoil yourself about once or twice a month. So one tip that I want to give you: do not buy food if you are on a budget. If you are on a tight budget, do not buy food at UCT, University of Cape Town. Trust me, it is so expensive. The food that you buy outside the campus, for example, 20 rand, you go and buy it on campus for 50 rand. Trust me, 50 rand. So make sure you just buy your food outside campus if you are on a budget, and take a lunchbox to campus. And if you have, of course, enough money, you can explore different restaurants that are in Cape Town. There is very nice food that is available in restaurants and cafes. across the city. Wherever you're going, you find restaurant. At campus, there is restaurant. Outside, there is restaurant, and you have variety of food that you can choose from. Okay. What about electricity? So that is actually one thing that I've noticed about Cape Town specifically, because when I was in Durban, most of the apartments and accommodations they come together with electricity. So you pay your rent covers electricity and water. That is actually different when you move to Cape Town, especially if you're a young professional. Get prepared to pay a separate cost for electricity and a separate cost for water. So in Cape Town, you pay your rent, which is separate from your electricity. So if your budget for your rent is 5,500, so you have to prepare about extra 500 rand for electricity itself, which is about 6,000 in total. So some housing comes with separate meter for electricity. So you pay meter based on the usage of the electricity, and water for meter for water as well. But I'm grateful that since I've come to Cape Town, so the apartment that I've been renting so far, it has been including water. So make sure when you are looking for an apartment, it should include water as well. But electricity I cannot guarantee, because you pay that separately. Either you are in a shared apartment, or you are actually living by yourself, it's still the same thing. You're still going to pay for electricity separately. Water can come with the rent, or it can be charged based on the user usage. Okay, so yeah. So let's talk about the total monthly student budget. The total monthly student budget, so it can be between, so let me say rent 6,000. If you get like an average of 6,000 for rent, 500 rent for electricity, that is 6.5, groceries 1.5, that would be 8,000. So rent, groceries, and electricity 8,000 rand, and transport you can budget 500 rand, because most of the time if you are going to campus, you'll be taking UCT Jami, which save most of your transportation money. And if you're a young professional who is taking buses or taxis, you can just budget like 1,000 rand for transportation. So that would be like a total of 8,500 for a student, 9,000 for a young professional. So average, like if you like going out, just put 10,000 as average monthly cost. That's Cape Town for you. Cape Town, it is so expensive. That is the most expensive city in Africa, I guess. I can't say much, but according to research, Cape Town is the most expensive city in Africa, and is the most beautiful city in Africa. Okay, so welcome to the mother city. You are going to have a beautiful time here. You are going to have a beautiful views, beautiful going out if you are an outgoing person, but also prepare for the cost. It is cheaper for those who are coming overseas, abroad, like in American countries and European countries, because here we use rand, and rand is so weak compared to dollar and Europeans. So if you're coming from other provinces across South Africa, so you are going to find it more expensive compared to people who are coming from other countries, right? Okay, so let's talk about student living. So we have talked about accommodation, we have talked about transportations, we have talked about groceries, food, and we have talked about electricity. So how is the security in Cape Town? If you are living in suburbs and areas that are across, like next to campuses, or suburbs that are next to town, like not very far from town, you are going to be more secure. Those areas, I guarantee, it's not like a guarantee 100%. You still have to be careful when you are walking or when you are moving spaces, but Trust me, Cape Town is so safe. It's mostly safer places that I have seen, especially when you are living in areas that in suburbs. So do not go in no-go area. In no-go area, do not go to those Cape Town townships and Cape Town villages. I always hear that those are dangerous areas. Myself, I never go to those areas, but they say that are dangerous. So do not go to townships or any villages in Cape Town. Just get a proper accommodation. Even though you are in a sharing apartment, a sharing room, it doesn't matter as long as your safety comes first. So, how is the noise level in a shared apartment? It actually depends with people that you are living with, so you cannot guarantee a calm environment, especially if you are in a student residence. Some weekends you will be having a lot of noise from student residences, but if you are living in a private accommodation which is outside the university residences, so you're still gonna have a calm moment, like especially if you are in your own room, like a private room, so you will have those calm moments where you have your own calm time, you time, but if you are in a shared room, so unless you have uh, a good relationship with your roommate, then you can accommodate each other. But for me, it was not really a good experience when I was having a roommate, which made me take the decision to move into a private room. Okay, so I have explained the transportation. So be aware about before you come to South Africa, if you are from a different country, so just download Uber or Bolt in your cell phone. So it's going to help you a lot, especially when you are still new. You will be at the airport and you like to take Uber. So there is some Ubers that are always there outside on the airport, and also when you are at the bus station, if you're coming by a bus, you will need to take Uber or Bolt, right? So for you to be able to pay, you have to use the Uber app or the Bolt app. Once you have already settled in Cape Town, so familiarize yourself with the taxi ranks, especially if you are a person who like going out and you like to take those public taxis or public buses. But Uber should be enough, or Bolt if you have really good money to pay for private transportation. But if you are a person who just planning to go to campus and take UCT shuttles, student charming, so you should be fine, so you shouldn't be worried. Just make sure you research the areas where those shuttles are in, so that you are not going to be stressed living in an area where a university student journey is not available. There is some areas where the student buses do not reach, so make sure you do your research before you move. Okay, so yeah, so if you are a UCT student, welcome to the mother city, welcome to Cape Town. The University of Cape Town is really the best university, and it's said to be the best university in Africa itself, which is a huge milestone. A huge milestone, I won't lie, it is really beautiful. What you can expect there from the open, like they always open, the year start from February, and then in that February, if you are an international student, you have beautiful experiences. We have DCA, or a open day, where you have to know about all the societies and clubs that student offers at the university itself. If you like swimming, you can join the swimming club, you can join the hiking club, or you can also join the consulting association societies, the computer science societies. Like different societies are there. There is a yacht if you like boats, you like going for yacht or boating. So there's a lot. There is dance classes. There is a UCT gym at the middle campus. We have different campuses with UCT. So the main campus is in Rondebosch. That is like the main campus. I'll put the clip here so you can know what I'm talking about. And then we have the main campus. So we have also the middle campus, and then we have the lower campus. will find the UCT gym at the lower campus, which is actually next to a lot of residences there. And you can just, it's not that expensive, you can just sign up for any club or any society or the UCT gym, whatever that you're interested in, and the fees will be placed directly on your school fees, so you are not in rushing to paying month to month. Right. So one thing again that you have to know about accommodation, if you are residing in a student residences that is offered by the university, so the monthly rent will be placed directly on your school fees, and you have to pay a certain amount for your rent in March and then in July. Otherwise, you'll be charged interest. So that is the only university student residencies, so the rent will be placed in your student account, so you have to pay directly with your school fees. And if you are living in a private accommodation, you know the thing, so you have to pay month to month rent. Okay, so I think I've covered most of the basics that you have to know as a student who want to come and relocate to Cape Town, especially if you want to study at the University of Cape Town or if you want to study at CPUT. So you will find a lot of interesting sports, interesting things that you have to do. Making friends in Africa, South Africa is easy if you are a friendly person, but myself, I'm an introvert. I like my own space. I make friends, but I don't really go out most of the time because I like doing my own things. Okay, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. If you have gained value from this video, please just give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel, and write in a comment below like any other suggestions that you can give to those who are coming to Cape Town for the first time, what you would like to say to them. Just your thoughts can help someone else. Okay, thank you.